We're going to talk about some definitions and some basics of geometry. So there are some concepts here that I expect you to be aware of, and I would like you to read through these on your own as well. You should know the definition of a line and a line segment, a point, and an angle. So these are things that I'd like you to read over and to make sense of. The main thing is that when you have a line, what is a line really? A line is really just an infinite collection of points. So if you were to just, how would you describe a line? It's just an infinite collection of points. And the property that they share is described here in the figure. That they all, if you connect them, there is one structure that goes through them. Now, when it comes to angles, though, angles are very, very interesting because you can describe angles different ways. And really, the first thing that I want you to pay attention to is on page 2. So I'm not going to just jump through the stuff here. I'm just highlighting key things that I want you to be aware of. When it comes to angles, there's 2 ways to describe angles. There's the 3-letter method, and then there's the lowercase letter. And usually it's a Greek letter. Not always, but usually. So you see here, this angle here is angle ABC. See? Or is it BAC? Or is it CBA? How the heck do you write this? So that's probably like the thing that you are going to be working through today with me. How the heck do you describe this angle here? Yeah, it's BAC. Is there another way to write it? Whoops. Is there another way to write than the angle? CAB. So my question to you, thank you Denny, thank you Ram, and thank you Shalan. So Denny, your 2 answers there, what did they have in common? What letter was in the middle? A. Thank you Janvi. Is it Janvi or Janvi? Is the J soft or hard? Is it Ja or Ya? Sorry, I'm just trying to say the name right. Okay. Okay, Janvi. Thank you. I want to say it correctly, that's why. Okay. Janvi, so do you mean hard like you're tough, or do you mean like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Oh, I know, like Ja Morant. Like Ja Morant, okay? I hear you, I gotcha. Anyway, the thing is that the letter in the middle has to be in the middle here. You see that? The letter A is in the middle. And that's the key. So whenever it comes to using the 3-letter method, there's always 2 ways, times 2. There's always 2 ways to do it because you can write it forward and backwards. When you use the lowercase letter, there's only one way to do it because you literally just indicate the angle internally. Now, you might be wondering, why would I go through the 3-letter method versus the single-letter method? Well, I will prove it or explain it to you in a second. But before we do that, talk about this one here. See this angle here, theta? This Greek letter here? There's 2 ways to name the angle because that's the angle they're talking about. I gotta draw this slowly because my stylus is very sensitive. Anyway, that angle can be described using the Greek letter right there, or you can use the letters in English here, A, E, B. But notice that no matter which way you do it, the letter in the middle is going to be E. Theta, Denny. Yes. Now, because I'm fluent in Greek, I can tell you how to say it. Matthew, yeah, it's up to you. You can print them. If you find that if you need to have a physical thing in front of you, I promise you, this stuff that we're doing now, it'll be more than enough for you to follow along with me on the screen. But if you're one of those people that likes to highlight like me, yeah, I'd print it. This first booklet, the questions are very short, nothing too dangerous. So all really that you need is a notepad of some sort to just do exercises with me. I'm not doing anything like in terms of application. Probably will. Yeah. Um, you don't have to print everything. You can just go through the booklet and find the pages where there's exercises and print those. But you don't have to print much, as long as you have a screen in front of you and you can have a notepad. You'll see that as we do exercises, it's more about solving problems than it is actually highlighting the notes, okay? I wanted to offer you an explanation about why we care about this three-letter stuff. So what I'm going to do now is explain to you. We'll do that actually after discussing this page and the next page. So it says it's just talking about different types of angles. So if you take a look at the next page here, you see we have a straight line or a straight angle. We also have a right angle. So these are angles that you should be familiar with. So a straight angle is 180 degrees. A right angle is 90. And then if you're familiar with the word perpendicular, you're going to see that and the word parallel, I should say. These are words that are going to come around in the geometry of these booklets, but it's important that you are aware of what these words mean, because it's just about communication. Now, you're not going to get a test from me saying define a perpendicular line, or define a straight angle, or define an obtuse angle. That's not what I'm here to do. I just want to give you questions that are like practical, like, you know, solve for this angle, or calculate this, or here's a really nasty equation. Can you solve it? Whatever. Let me explain to you why the three letters is cool. Whoops. I actually had to prove that formula, Denny. E equals mc squared. So you're going to see me on occasion do this. So you're going to see me inspecting. I can't go that far ahead of Matthew. I'm not going to lie to you. My childhood team was the Buffalo Bills, but that's not happening anyway. So anyway, but how can you go on the Chiefs? Mahomes is a stud. Uh, True. All right, guys. I'm a little bit behind track, so let me get back to the lesson here. But you're hilarious. By the way, when we finish class, I'll stick around in the chat anyway. Um, why is the three-letter method naming angles good? So I'll give you an example of why it might be interesting to know this. So for that, I'm just gonna, just 1 second, I gotta go to Google. You're gonna see me periodically jump around between browsers because I'm looking for pictures of things. All right, guys. So here's a picture of a pyramid. Okay. Let's say that you and I are talking. So I'm here in the chat with I consider everybody here kind of like we're doing a project together. There's B. My stylus, as you can see, is a little bit glitchy because I won't be doing too much drawing. I'm going to rely on using a lot of images properly. Anyway, so let's say that you and okay, I'm going to I need a friend. Who's going to be my friend to do a project with me? Let's say we're classmates. I'm going to I'm scrolling in the chat. I'm picking on Amir. Okay? Amir, are you there? Okay, thank you. Can we be partners for this project? Just for 2 minutes, okay? I won't bug you after. Okay, cool. So Amir and I are working on a project, but the problem is that our phones are terrible and we don't know how to use text messaging with pictures. Obviously, you do and I do, but I'm just being silly right now. So how the heck am I going to describe this angle to Amir? I'm like, Amir, I need you to calculate, because he was doing all the calculations. I was being lazy. I was too busy watching the football game. And I'm like, Amir, I need that angle theta. And he's going to be like, what angle is that, buddy? I don't know what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? How do I describe this angle here in 3 dimensions to somebody over a text message without pictures? Well, if you know the 3-letter method, it's a joke. Because Amir can turn back to me and say, Johnny, come on. You want angle ACD or angle. What's the other name? What's the other way of doing it? What's the other way of writing it? Thank you, Denny. You see that? And you see that me and Amir are not going to get irritated with each other because now we have a 3-letter method to describe the angle. No confusion. Whereas if you're trying to describe something in 3 dimensions otherwise, you're like, oh, it's the angle on the front, on the right at the bottom. What the heck does that mean? That sounds dumb. Like, that does not sound technical. The angle on the front of the right of the, no, forget it. I don't like using the word dumb, but that's not really efficient. So anyway, that's a motivation for why you would want to use 3 letters. Here's some angles that you should be familiar with. These namings, they're just going to be, as I communicate answers to you in the homework, you should know what an acute angle is, a right angle, an obtuse angle, a straight angle, and a reflex angle. I guess the names are on the right here, so maybe I'll just highlight them over here. Don't worry, I'm not going to be highlighting like all kinds of stuff in these notes. It's just the first couple of chapters are very dense with keywords. So anyway, we're going to go down here and just take a look at a couple of exercises, and we'll stop today's class. We're going to start tomorrow, Friday, with some interesting stuff. Notice that here there's a section with exercises. This is on page 5. So I'm going to ask you to do anything that, if I say you're responsible for up to page whatever, then I expect you to do the exercises for that up to that point. So I'll post this booklet on Blackboard in PDF form of whatever I've highlighted, and I'll tell you what you do for homework. I'll highlight it in blue, okay? So you're going to do number 1. Sorry, guys. This is the fun thing about using Blackboard, because there's always a delay between my stylus and the notes itself. So I'm going to ask you to do those 4 questions before Friday. They shouldn't be too dangerous. And to finish class today, though, I will answer some of question 4 with you. So just so that you have a practice of what we're going to do. So you tell me in the chat. We're going to do 2 of these questions together. We'll do 2 of these questions together. Which ones would you like to do? Tell me in the chat. First come, first serve. We'll do 2 of them. C, okay. And F. Okay, we'll do C and F. Done. Okay, so let's talk about question C. So how do you answer question C? Anybody have an answer to it? What does that angle theta equal? So we're talking about this angle here. What is this angle? That's correct, Adrian. And people below. Yeah, I think Graham meant to put a plus sign because the keyboard has the plus and the equals together. Yeah, thank you. So this is 110, and how much is this? How much is this? How much is that one? Yeah, that's a 90. So that's a right angle. Nothing too profound here. But what you see there is what I typed for you is what my expectation is from you. So I always, when I see a calculation question or some type of a solution, I'm not here to teach you about 90 degrees. I know that you get 90 degrees for the most part, I'm pretty sure. But what I do want to see from you is this. I don't want to see just the answer. If you just put 200 on a test, what if it's wrong? Let's say let's say on a test, all you wrote was this, but you wrote down 250. I have no idea if you know what you're doing. So please write the extra step, an algebraic step or a calculation. I want to see two things, a calculation and an answer. That's the minimum I'm asking for you. Yeah, exactly, Shalon. Without working, you get the extra, you get credit even if the answer is wrong. But if you have a wrong answer with no method, how do I know? Now, if there's anybody here that's really, really confident and they don't need to show their work and they just drop the right answer, you're gambling. But if you get the right answer, I will give you the credit. I'm not going to be one of those people that you didn't show the work. Amir, I thought we're done the project. You're already doing my homework for me. I'm okay. Actually, both of your answers, Ram and Amir, very good answers. I think Ram, you have the numbers backwards, but it's fine. You'll fix it. So I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to write this one as an equation, which is similar to what Amir's doing. So I'm going to say here that y plus 120 plus 90 equals 360. So what I'm doing here is the previous one I just did a calculation. See, I just did like I did here, I did do some calculation, add some stuff together. Here I want to make a formula or an equation and solve it. If you're wondering how do I do things in terms of my delivery, for geometry questions, I tend to go between these two forms. I'll try to do it one way or the other just to balance it out for people, because some people like the first answer and some people like the second way of doing it. So I try to mix and match the two ways because it makes people happy that they see their way there. So at this point, I'm going to just continue here and do a little bit of algebra. And when you move the 260 over, sorry, the 210 over, it becomes negative. So what's our final answer? Can someone give me an answer there? I actually have Amir's answer there, sorry. 150 is correct. There you go. 150 degrees. So some of you probably are good with this, but there may be a couple people that are like, where did 360 come from? If you're wondering, remember that one full revolution, if you go all the way around, sorry, my pen's really slow here. 190, oh, the 210, Malik, is this. I just added these two together. Basically, we're finding y, yeah. Every question here is about finding the variable that's missing. So, may I ask everybody, I'm going to just put the video on for a quick second. What do you guys have after this? Do you have class right after this? What? At 1 o'clock? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, at 2 o'clock, okay. Because I'm not going to, no, okay, I gotcha. Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I don't want to, I'm not trying to take you to 1 o'clock. I'm not trying to like suck the life out of you here. But I do want to, when I do sense that there's enthusiasm to do something, I don't mind doing extra. So why don't we just do one more question? Oh, you had class right before this. I gotcha. Damn. No rest for the cool people. Let's do one more question, okay? Let's do this question here and then we'll call it a day. Just one more question. I'm going to turn the video off again and then I'll turn it on to say goodbye. So yeah, I'll post this video on YouTube at some point later today or before Friday. Danielle, that's correct. So let's go through this. I'm going to use the algebraic way. So this here is 180. You'll have to forgive me. This pen thing is not that entertaining. That's why I usually use the keyboard. So 5 minutes before starting the class. Oh, I see what you're saying, Denny. Yeah, you want to start at 12:05. Denny, confirm. You want to start at 12:05? Okay, yeah. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Totally down with that. We'll go 12:05 to 12:55 roughly. Yeah, I hear you. It's a 1 hour class anyway. Nobody's here to destroy you. I'm not here to destroy you. So you're welcome. These angles here add up to 180. So 40 degrees plus 20 degrees. You're welcome, guys. Plus this Greek letter here, which is the Greek letter phi. You see how I typed it on the keyboard? P-H-I? Phi. Say it to yourself, like phi. And then 180 degrees. So that's phi plus 60. Now I'm doing a lot of baby steps here. I like baby steps, especially if I'm doing it in my head. But as we get more advanced in the semester, guys, I'm going to do less intermediate steps. So for today, and as we do the first week or two, I'll be very gentle with you. But in the future, I might just write this thing here, and then I might write this thing here, and that's it. And not to leave you in the dust and you don't know what's going on, but just because you should be able to fill those in on your own. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna just put the video on here again. I'll post this booklet on Blackboard right now as we finish class. I'll post whatever we have done on Blackboard, but you are responsible for up to page 7. And I'll put an announcement about that if you want. But basically, everything up to where I started. When you look back at this, whatever I've done writing up to is where you should be in the notes yourself. So, how was your first lesson? You guys okay? Matthew, I could do that. Actually, what I'm going to do, Matthew, is, yeah, Malik, the assignment will be done through Blackboard. Thank you, Daniel. The assignments will be done through Blackboard, but I have not set up your first assignment yet. I'll give you more details about the assignment on Friday. Thank you, people. There is a Matthew's question. Can you post a list of definitions? Matthew, what I'll do is I'll post a list of keywords, okay? Matthew, I will post a list of keywords that you should know what they are. Not that you're going to get a list of definitions on a test. Yeah, because the only reason I won't put definitions is because they're in the notes, and honestly, it's a pain in the butt because there's too many of them, and and then I will do a bad job of telling you what they are. So let me look through my notes, and I'll find a page that has definitions and words. Sorry, just keywords, and then that should help you. That's okay, Matthew. Actually, I've done that before for my students, so that should not be a big deal. We're done class. If you want, stick around for a minute or two. I'm gonna go to my computer. I can't see the chat for a couple minutes.